Okay, I guess we could consider this part 3 of our alignments, formations, but this is motions. I've separated it from the alignments and formations, and let's take a look now, and you'll see there are a lot of similarities here. Obviously, we're using the same designations that we used for our H-back, fullback. Remember, near, wing, and wide to the side of the tight end, and far, slot, and split to the open side, away from the tight end. Okay, now here's what I like about this, and I'm sure other people are doing this. I just haven't seen anybody do this. Typically, you tell the player that you want to go in motion, and he goes in motion, and you have some kind of code word to send him across the formation, or maybe to keep him on the same side of the formation, or have him motion out. This system, using these designations, these words, tell the player, first of all, who you want to go in motion, and then tells him where to be at the snap of the ball. And I think that's a little bit different. All right, so let's take a look. Here are some formations. I've put some motions in here to give you a look at it, and so you can get to see how it works, and I think it's great. But that's me. It's mine, so obviously I think it's great. All right, let's take a look here. Rip over far, Z wide. All right, remember, here's a rip. The Z has come over from that side to this side. That's what the over is. So here is a rip, over. The fullback is in a far. Now we've added Z wide. The Z knows he's going in motion, and where's he going to be at the snap? He's going to be at the wide position. Well, that's pretty simple. Okay, let's take another look at another one. Here's a rip close, far, F near. Here's a rip. Here's the Z in close, right? Rip close. We've talked about that. Rip close. Fullback's at far. And we want him to motion to near. Well, anytime our fullbacks motion from a far to a near or a near to a far, they shuffle motion until they get to that other position. Okay? So here it is. Rip close far, F near. Now, instead of coming out in a rip close near, we may come out in a rip close far, F near. It looks different. It's no different to us. Same thing here. This is the same as a rip far. Right? This is a rip far. If this Z started out here, that would be a rip. He'd be in a far. Instead, we're going to go rip over, and then we're going to bring him back in motion. So now, because philosophically, I believe in running a few plays from a lot of formations, it's important that my offense be able to do this, because we're only going to run a few plays. But we're going to make them look different with all this movement. And again, you saw how different things look when you watch the alignment and formation segments that we had, and how we can put different people in different positions. All right, here's a rip wing. Here's the rip, right? Here's the Y, here's the Z, here's the X. So this is a rip. Here's the fullback or H-back. Here we're calling him an H, so we've got an H in the game. He's at wing. So that's a rip wing. But now we're telling him to go in motion and be at the slot alignment, slot, at the snap. So it's rip wing, H slot. Here's another one. All right, let's take a look here. Rip near, Z wing. Okay, here's a rip with a near, and we're telling the Z to come into the wing. Now, alignment-wise, that's a close for him. But motion-wise, he's going to be at the wing spot at the snap. Okay, a little bit different. All right, here we go. Rex slot. Here's our Y, our tight end out here in a Rex. We've got our H-back or fullback up here in a slot. And we're telling our Z to go in motion and be at the split alignment at the snap. So we get a nice trips look over here out of motion with a Rex with a tight end out here opened up at 7 yards. Okay, here's another one. And look, you know, I said before that the only thing that stops you in all of this stuff is your imagination or your lack of imagination. I mean, there's so many things to do. You take a formation and you look at all the different ways you can get into that formation. Here's one down here where we're going to get into an empty set. Here's Rex, right? Rex. Here's the Y. Here's the Z. Here's the X. Here's an H-back in the slot. And we're going to go Rex slot, T-wing. Now our tailback's going to go in motion and he's going to be at the wing spot at the snap. So we can motion into an empty set, and it's no different than all of this. We're not telling guys that, you know, we're not creating a whole new formation. We're using this one system to be able to do all of this. All right, so let your imagination go. Let's go back up here, and we've dealt with this again before in our alignment and formations. So all of these now become the destination for whoever's going in motion. If we wanted this tailback to come out here to a split, we would add T-split at the end of our formation. That tells our tailback to be at the split at the snap. Goes in motion at the snap. Now, like everybody else, we'll have our quarterback control the motion with his foot. But that's, you know, that's where we want the person to be. That's where he's going to be when it's time to snap it. All right? So here's this. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to show you one more picture of all this. I'll go to a blank sheet, I'll set it up, and I'll show you how we could take one formation and all the different ways we can get to that formation with motion.